This?
Can you guys see?
I know your teacher knows this.
So, thanks for coming today. So we're having you as part of our Celebrate Freedom Week. So we thought maybe as our legislator, you could give some insight beyond just, we've looked at the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and some of these basic founding documents. We're starting with colonialism kind of at the beginning of the year as well. So we've studied some of the English heritage that we kind of got started. But I thought it would be great to see how that works today in action in our real world. So thanks for coming today.
Well, thank you, Will. I appreciate it. How much time do we have today? How much?
As much as you need. We have about 30 minutes.
Okay, that'd be cool. How many kids are there? I only see a few.
This is a smaller class, so we get a chance to do some in-depth. Everybody say hi. So we have about 9 students in here right now. But I'll be able to show this to the rest of my classes as well.
Okay. Well, so we have some time for questions, right? After.
Yeah,
okay. Well, let me tell you. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Thought maybe I'd tell you a little bit about me, about our office, and what we're doing for the people of Texas, and then open it up to questions. But I'm your state representative, and as you guys know, there's 150 of us who represent the Texas House of Representatives, and we're not in legislative session right now. That begins in January. So what we're doing right now is getting ready for the session, preparing bills, talking to people who care about the issues, preparing more bills, and meeting with people in the district. And I'm from El Paso, Texas. Everybody know where that is? Out far west Texas. That's my hometown, but I came here to go to UT. And as you guys know, UT has a lot of political activism in and around it, and I was really jazzed by that as a young woman. So I stayed here. When I was graduating from UT, Ann Richards was about to run for governor, so that's what inspired me to get involved in public service and in advocacy. So I've been involved since then, and always been doing things in the community. And I've done things in and around. I'm kind of familiar with Canyon Vista. I don't know is there still a program there called Jen Austin?
I don't believe so.
It's like a mentorship program, high school girls and middle school girls.
Oh, actually, yeah, we do have that mentor program still going on.
Club Jen, school program. So I've done some of that work. I've been on the AISD School Safety Task Force, and I've always been working on issues involving transportation as well. I'm a big advocate for more mass transit in Central Texas. So there's just a lot going on right now, but I was elected in January of this year, which is a weird time because, we're all getting ready for November elections right now. But I was elected in January because my predecessor was a friend of mine named Mark Strama, and Mark resigned last summer suddenly. And when you have that vacancy, the governor calls a special election. So we were elected in January after a runoff, and so we're running now in November again for the 2-year term. So it's kind of a weird time in our office. I'm the state representative, but I'm also running for re-election already. We just got in, so there's we're not getting too comfortable. I hope you come and visit us at our office and see it. It's a beautiful place. But our office is going to be changing. After November, we'll have some new people and things get rearranged. But I hope you make time to come to the state capitol and say hello. We'd love to see you here in person instead of here, like on TV.
Absolutely. We'll have to bring our history club down for certain.
I would love it. It's a beautiful place. Have you all been to the Capitol?
You guys been to the Capitol?
Good. There's a lot of kids who live in Austin who've never been to the Texas State Capitol. So I think it's something that everybody ought to do and combine. We'll treat you right, give you some goodies.
Excellent. Well, thanks for the invite. Absolutely.
Some of the things we're working on, I thought I would talk a little bit about, I'm running for re-election in November, and I feel good about the race, but I don't take anything for granted. If you've looked at in the news or anything about me, I think one of the things I'm known for is being really, really respectful of the voter. And we knocked on a lot of doors in order to win, and we're knocking on doors right now asking people for people's support again. So I'm a big believer in getting out the vote. Um, we're hoping that we can get at least 50% turnout in an off-year election. And as you guys know, being civic-oriented students, unfortunately, more people vote in the presidential years than they do in these what we call off years. So we're working hard to get the vote out. One of the bills that I'm working on is called online voter registration. And right now, you can go online and you can do all kinds of things as you interact with your state government. You can apply for support, assistance. You can get a handgun permit application, but unfortunately, you can't go online and fill out a form and let us know that you've moved and you want to change your voter registration. You have to go online, you print out a form, you write it out, and you mail it in to your county. And that causes all kinds of confusion, errors, and I'm trying to find ways for us to improve our voting system. So we're going to be filing an online voter registration bill so that it will make it a simpler and easier and more efficient process. So that's an example of what we're working on right now. We sent out a survey to all of the election administrators around the state of Texas and asked their opinion about all kinds of aspects about voting, including vote by mail. So that's what we're doing right now, getting ready, meeting with people so that we can be on our A game come January.
That's exciting. So do you have any advice for these kids as we kind of are moving through this? We're doing obviously this Constitution Day was yesterday and celebrate Freedom Week. But as we start to kind of study the government and maybe find some ways that we can get involved, do you have any advice for students that maybe aren't old enough to vote but could exercise their power and their voice in a different way?
Well, I'm very passionate about just people getting involved, and that doesn't necessarily mean voting. We just got a note on our Facebook page this morning that there was one of our supporters was phone banking, and her kid was too young to phone bank, but there was some paperwork there, stapling and getting some materials ready. So I would say, regardless of who you support, find somebody that you believe in, that you care about, and you're going to make friends on the campaign. The beautiful thing about a campaign is that it's all over on election. So you can help them on the weekends or on evenings and get to know the real world of politics. And it's fun. I had a wonderful experience when I was a young person. As I said, I worked on a lot of different campaigns, and I made a lot of friends. And we help each other out now as adults because we care about each other, and you just make some great connections. So, but it's a great way to just see government in action, and it's a different aspect of government. It's the process of getting elected. And if only a few of us are voting and a few of us are paying attention to who is elected, then it's kind of like you get what you pay for, right? I think the more people that turn out to vote, the more people who are paying attention to the issues of the day, the better. So at a very basic level, it's as simple as getting involved in a campaign. And that could be everything from getting out leaflets, working on mailers, and knocking on doors. It's all kinds of stuff. And I love it, but I'm kind of hooked on this stuff. So.
All right. Do you have anything to add before I kind of start to prompt these students for any other questions?
No. I'll be more brilliant when you ask me a question.
All right, guys. So I'd like to open it up to you guys. Any questions for Representative Israel? Things that you're interested in, or maybe an issue, maybe something that you guys like to know about our government, our state government here in Austin. We're lucky enough to live in the state capital.
I want to ask some questions, but I don't know what to ask.
Go ahead.
I don't know what to ask.
Well, we have been studying, again, we've been kind of just touching on the founding documents of freedom. So maybe you could kind of let us into the process of how your job kind of works, as far as, you know, we know you're a legislature, and then we basically learned that the legislature, you know, makes, in quotes, makes the laws. So can you kind of tell us how that process works from an idea that maybe these guys are interested in, or an issue, and how that kind of comes full circle to, like you're saying, the bill that you have that's kind of working through about this this online voter registration. How does that kind of go about?
Well, it could be, there's different ways. One of the things that we do is we, of course, right now we're knocking on doors and asking people for their vote, but we're also having these little small events called Café con Celia, and it's my cute way of saying I want to meet you, and I'm only as effective as I am in touch with the district, but unfortunately, not enough people are interested and care enough about their government to say, okay, hey, let's go have coffee. Our state rep is over there. So we leaflet, we phone bank, we send out emails, and we try to get people to say, hey, come and meet your state representative, because once you meet me and we talk about what's going on at the Capitol, they might share with me, for example, that they are concerned about transportation problems. That's an issue that affects all of us. Congestion, for example. And if you look at how the state of Texas pays for transportation, we do that through a number of means. We in the legislature pass a budget every 2 years, and that the transportation budget is monitored and administered by the Texas Department of Transportation. Well, the Texas Department of Transportation is funded primarily by a tax on gasoline. So every time you put gas in your car, 20 cents of that gallon goes to the state of Texas. What happens if you drive an electric car?
Guys.
If you're driving an electric car, you're not paying your share into the state's transportation budget. So, a lot of it is about just being visible and letting us know what you care about. And we have visited with people who have an interest in clean air, in electric vehicles, and in congestion, in taxes in general, which is obviously a very controversial issue. How do we take our resources and make them work? So that's just one example of a big issue. Transportation is a huge topic, but it can be boiled down to one potential answer is make things equitable so that those who are driving an electric car are paying into the purse, so to speak.
That's a really cool insight into how those kind of things happen. So, guys, do you have any issues that maybe you kind of have a question on? Maybe voting, taxes you mentioned, transportation, any kind of issues that you guys maybe would like to kind of hear about? Maybe how that process might look. All right, it's a little early for us here.
I will suggest you go to the Texas House Representatives website, because anytime you've got a big assignment, in our case, our big assignment is to pass a budget on behalf of the state of Texas. Okay. You've got a big assignment, you break it down into committees. And we have everything that happens in the legislature this January is based on committee assignments. So I'm hoping to serve on the Transportation Committee. But we also have the Public Education Committee, we have the State Affairs Committee, we have the County Affairs Committee, we have the Insurance Committee. I could go on and on, but whatever issue you care about gets assigned to a committee, and it's that committee that then hears the bills that are related to that topic, and it's at the time when it's time for a public hearing for those who care about that bill to come and make their voice heard. But I mentioned all of the work that we're doing now because what we're doing now is getting ready to present really good legislation and helpful legislation. But during the session, you'll be hearing about a bill that's coming up for a hearing, and it's because it's coming up in a committee setting. And the men and women who sit on that committee need to hear from the various interests, and it'll either get passed out of committee or it gets stuck in committee. And if it gets passed out of committee, then it goes to the full body, all 150 of us voted up or down, and then it goes to the Texas State Senate, and then of course it goes to the governor. So we have it's a bit of an involved process, but there is an opportunity for the public to make their voice heard during the legislative session. But that doesn't mean you can't make your voice heard now as we're getting ready to elect the men and women who are going to represent the state of Texas.
That's great. So we plan to kind of dig into one of these issues that that our students we're going to be looking at what's called problem-based learning, and kind of choosing a problem that we want to solve or at least address, and see if we can come up with that as we start to study the way the government works. So we would be looking for hearings that are related to the issue, and then we would be contacting those representatives and legislators that are serving on those particular committees. That would be our kind of best start if we're kind of looking into attack one of these issues.
Good. Well, I'll make sure that you let your state representative know, and that would be me, that you're paying attention. And we really appreciate it when you take it to the next level and follow a bill that you like or don't like and go to the committee. And I may or may not be on that committee, but that doesn't matter. It's that committee's job to hear from the public regardless of where they live in the state of Texas. So the committee is where there's an opportunity for you to make a lot of noise, and that's a good thing.
Nice.
Emails, phone calls, all kinds of stuff. Come by the office when it's at committee. You might want to come to the state capitol at that time. And I would say if there's a bill that you really want to help, you have to advocate for that bill, and that means phone calls, emails. Come to the capitol and meet with a staffer who's overseeing that bill for that legislator. It's all very helpful, and that's democracy.
Excellent. I think that's kind of a great kind of point to end as we kind of come back to how we started with Celebrate Freedom Week. Do you have anything else to add before we let you go for today?
I can't think of anything. Just, I appreciate you having me here. I appreciate you knowing that I am your state representative, because not everybody does. And thanks for paying attention. This is your state and your future that we're working on. So I look forward to meeting you in person. Come and visit me.
Absolutely, we will. And hopefully we'll have some issues and some solutions that our student created, and we'll be looking forward to kind of learning more about the process and staying in contact with you throughout the year.
Okay, guys. Thanks for the call. Thanks for the meeting, and have a good day.
All right. Thanks so much, guys. Say bye.
Bye.
Welcome.